Bonjour à tous, nous avons la chance d'être aujourd'hui à Berlin dans les bureaux de Trade Republic avec le fondateur Christian Ecker. Je suis avec mon homologue créateur de contenu Grégory Guillemin que je ne présente plus. Christian, thanks a lot for your time today.
Thank you.
You tell us a really nice story about Trade Republic this morning and we wanted you to share a bit about it to our followers. So why did you start this project? What was the main idea?
So in 2015, I was working in an investment bank myself, and I met my co-founder, and we've been excited to do something with technology which improves the lives of people. And so we were looking into what are the big trends, and very quickly, after like 10 minutes, we stumbled upon the fact that there's going to be a huge pension gap in Europe, right? So if you graduate today and you contribute 40, 50 years to the pension system, you're likely still going to live in poverty. So we are very, very convinced about the fact that in the next 50 years, hundreds of millions of people need to participate building wealth for themselves to become more free, right? To build a better preparation for them in the future. And that motivation gets us going since the very first day.
Beautiful. We would like to know a bit more about what's going on. What are the medium-term goals for Trade Republic and also maybe the next project?
So first of all, as you can see, there's hundreds of people here working very hard to really build the next thing. I mean, if you zoom out, what have we done, right? We've launched public markets, stocks, ETFs, derivatives to invest commission-free, easy and secure in our app. Then we've brought cash interest to people and just recently opened up the bond market to people. So hopefully you can see a clear red line. We try to take asset classes, democratize them. So you can invest into them with as little as €1, commission-free, and very easy and logical in our product, right? So I think the long-term goal is to really bring the asset pie a high net worth individual would have into the product, right? And at the same time, really educate people, help them to start the savings journey, which most likely is an ETF a savings plan. We've expanded the company now to 17 European countries, so there's much to do and early innings for us to become a big company.
Okay, you are speaking about all the countries, but I have a specific question for France. As I am the ambassador for France, a lot of them have this question for you. When will we get the PEA?
Yes. So first of all, I think the important part is you will get a PEA, right? We believe it's one of the most exciting things you can build. Actually, I think if you have opened up a French newspaper recently, you would find me talking to the German Secretary of Finance, saying France is a role model. The PEA is, I think, one of the best pension programs or wrappers you can find across Europe. So it's really important for us to build this. Now, you need to become a French branch, meaning a licensed venue of your bank in France. We're working on this. As always, getting licenses takes some time, but once we have this, we likely get this, and we're trying to bring this to people next year.
Super.
When you launch Trade Republic, why have you decided to work with the Hamburg Stock Exchange instead of working with Sera or Euronext as usual brokers are doing?
So, I mean, if you look into really Euronext or Deutsche Börse, those market models are not built for retail people, right? You got very narrow trading hours. Data costs money. You need to pay high entry fees. And you need to clear and settle the trade on their infrastructure, right? So eventually I can tell you it's not possible to offer a trade to Euronext, etc., beneath €5 of fees. That's an entry barrier for almost everybody out there, right, to invest. And at the same time, we looked into the stock exchange in Hamburg or similar exchanges, and you see they have very large trading hours from 7:30 in the morning to 11 p.m. They have no such fees. You can get the data, you can get the trading book. And then the market access is for free. And then you look into the one thing which many people, as you know, are concerned about, the execution quality, the spreads. And all of a sudden you see that the spreads are better than they are on Xetra and Euronext, right? And the reason for that is quite simple. Those exchanges are, you would say, efficient intermediaries into all asset classes, right? So on Deutsche Börse, Euronext, you can trade French stocks, German stocks, but if you want to buy Apple computers, you need to go to NASDAQ, clear and settle on NASDAQ. That can easily cost €100 in fees, right? And so the venues we are using are still quoting American stocks. They're doing the clearing and settlement piece for you because they can aggregate all positions, right? And Europe was quite in the medieval ages on capital market infrastructure, and that is the future. That's something we've built, and the opportunities come now to the retail people across all Europe.
Okay. We also see a lot of regulatory changes. For example, the PFOF is going to be banned in 2026.
Sure.
And what will be impact your revenue, and how do you adapt to the fact that the regulatory landscape is evolving and quickly evolving?
Yes. Maybe let's zoom out for one tiny second, because I think what Trade Republic has shown is that the retail order flow of you, of me, has a value which was not remunerated in the past, right? Because you would pay fees, and then on Euronext and Deutsche Börse, there would be a big hedge fund on the other side making money on your back. So once and for all, we show to the world, we show to the people, retail trades have a value, and the retail people should get the value of these trades. That is not going to go away, right? The regulation of payment for order flow, I think, is a big achievement of the big industries, incumbents, to lobby annoying competition away, but it won't. Trade Republic only makes a third of its revenue from payment for order flow, so we have other revenue streams for sure. And as I said, I think the power dynamics between exchanges, hedge funds, brokers, and clients are going to be changed forever. And we have 3 years' time to see how it will prevail. But I can tell you something, our free ETF savings plans, our commission-free offering is not going to go away. It's going to here to stay and make some noise in the markets.
Okay. As a Belgian, a lot of people also who follow me, they ask the question regarding the automatization of the tax on forex exchange. At the moment, Belgian people
Yes.
who use Trade Republic, they have to do it manually. Each month, it's very time consuming.
Yes.
They earn some time on, I would say, monthly investment that is automatic, but on the other one, they have to calculate and they have to pay. So is it an important project for you or not, because Belgium is a small country in Europe?
No, so Belgium is really an exciting market, right? And it's a large market if you look into the people who are looking to invest, right? It's a high GDP country, so it's definitely on the top list of countries we would want to be active and present. Second, I feel personally sorry for all the people who need to do taxes themselves, right? That's not how it should be. So at Trade Republic, we're committed to bring tax easiness to the majority of markets we're at. Nobody has done this at that scale across Europe as one player. We are working on this. Many people here in this office are working on this as we speak. It would take some time, but we want to empower the middle class, the average people, to build up wealth. And those people demand easy taxes for themselves. So it's going to come, but first things first, we need to deliver it.
Last question for me. What would be your advice to a 25-year-old guy or woman that is starting his career?
Don't look for the highest pay, look for the biggest challenge. Look for people who can learn something from. We meet many people who sacrifice a compensation of a learning curve, right? You can earn money your entire life, right? I think the first 5 years of your career are working with the best brands, with the smartest minds, on the hardest problems, right? And that, I think, is the most important one. The other one is, I think these days many people jump from job to job after 2 years. Don't give up. Stay in your job, in your first job, 3 or 4 years. Really make your first learnings, make your first promotion there, and build a career, right? From moving, you don't build a ladder.
We also saw a different, I would say, and a lot of social investing app. Is a Trade Republic going to be a social investing app or not at all?
No, I mean, quite frankly, we believe the right way to investing, right, has general rules. And we believe sometimes social investing brings the worst out of it, right? That doesn't mean that the crowd isn't smart, right? I think, like yourself, many people are running great communities of people who are teaching themselves, enriching themselves, exchanging ideas and informations. But we rather see this in the hands of people like yourself, like smart moderators crafting those communities. And we are then the platform on which those ideas can be executed. But we want to build a different platform than the typical social trading platforms.
Okay. 4 years ago, you launched, I would say, the first version of Trade Republic. Since that moment, what is your biggest failure as a CEO of Trade Republic, or the toughest moment, the most difficult moment you've experienced?
Yeah. So I think it's important to know, if you are doing this for 7 years and you're growing a company from literally 30 people to 600 people in like 3 years' time. Every day you make hundreds of mistakes, right? So I can spend hours listing all my failures and mistakes, right? You get a bloody nose quite often, like a strong conviction, you go somewhere and it's just plain out wrong, right? I think the toughest pieces is, first of all, getting the first employee, somebody as crazy as you to work on that mission. Second, launching your product market fit, right? Really making sure that the first people are excited about the project, right? I think that's a really, really scary thing if you think about it this way, right? Then really launching a company which has more than 100 employees, right? That the company becomes an own organism, right? An own process-driven organization, right? That's scary thought. And then going into other countries, right? I mean, we've been a German company, all of a sudden we've been in France, now we've been in Belgium, other markets, right? And you just build it again from scratch, learn your customers, learn how they behave, right? And all of that, you do hundreds of mistakes, right? But the important thing is to do, understand them, to see the failure, come back, right? And just move fast. Just do 10 decisions and make sure only half of them are wrong.
Like when you are doing trading or investment,
exactly.
in fact.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's a long-term thing and never give up, right? You always need to try, iterate, and then you're going to get there eventually.
And what's your biggest dream? What drives you inside of you? What's your biggest dream?
So if you look into the world, right, you see that Europe has the second highest GDP per capita, the lowest investment quota among developed countries, right? That must change, that should change, that will change. So I think what excites me the most is really empowering first-time investors to go their journey and hopefully stay on our platform for 30 years to come, to retire on the platform and harvest the crops of their hard work.
Thank you so much,
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully come back again.